Do artists really have to starve to be true to their craft? Must the business side of creativity drain all inspiration? No, it does not. 5 minutes on creative entrepreneurship can help you master the business side of creativity, reap greater rewards from your talent, and enjoy your work to the fullest.
I'm so glad trouble don't last always.
The essence of marketing a creative service is simply getting the message out about what you have to offer. To do that, you have to find and utilize the right channels. But before you start thinking about channels, you need to think long and hard about what messages you intend to send through those channels. Ultimately, you need to let prospects know you exist and have a service to offer. But what is that service? And how can you make your services stand out amongst a crowded marketplace of similar services? I'm Eric Holter, and I've been a serial creative entrepreneur for over 3 decades. After graduating from Rhode Island School of Design in 1991, I could cut and print beautiful wood engravings. But I had no idea how to run a business. They just don't teach enough about business in art school. In today's media landscape, we are all subject to an overwhelming number of channels and messages. Advertisements are everywhere. They're in our inbox, our mailbox, our social media feeds, our entertainment. They're posted on streets and along our highways. They're inserted into our podcasts and radio stations, and even embedded into the games we like to play. As you approach the task of marketing your creative service, you're going to have to compete with a cacophony of messages that can easily drown out whatever it is you have to say. Since there's so much noise in the marketing channels we're all exposed to, for your message to get through, it's going to have to stand out from all the rest. So, what signals can you send that won't be lost in the noise? As a creative entrepreneur, your marketing messages must speak to the real needs of your prospects, not to your own fascination with creativity. Far too often, creatives write articles and post to social media about topics related to the craft of creativity. Those topics are highly relevant and interesting to your peers, to other creatives, but not so much to your prospects. Your prospects want to sell more products, or get more opportunities, or find more investors. They're really not interested in the latest fonts released by Beertold Type Foundry, as beautiful as they may be. Another tendency of creative service messaging is to simply engage in promotion, announcing and showing off recently completed work. While it's entirely appropriate to include this kind of self-promotional content as part of your overall mix of messaging, it should certainly not be the mainstay of your messages. Lastly, they also don't need to hear, yet again, how important branding is. What they need to know is how your particular services are going to help them meet their specific goals, and how your abilities as a creative will accomplish this better than the thousands of other creatives offering essentially the same services. So what do you offer? This is the first question of the 3 questions that define your positioning statement. And the more you pinpoint your answer to this question, easier it'll be to break through the noise and get the attention of your prospects. The broader and more expansive your answer, the more you'll be lost in the chatter. This necessity to fine-tune your signal by offering one clear service that meets a specific need goes against the grain of most creatives. The typical answer to the question of what you do, as answered on the overwhelming majority of creatives' websites, is whatever you might need. You want to claim to be full service. You can do print, identity, web, video, SEO, everything they might ever need. But when your answer to the question of what you're offering is anything, then any signal you send out is going to dissipate into all the noise. In order to break through and get a hearing, your messages must be finely tuned and speak to the specific needs of your prospects. And that means you need to pick one offering, or a very small set of related offerings. You might think that offering everything casts a wide net to pull in many opportunities, but in fact, that wide net is so porous that you'll end up catching nothing at all. When it comes to marketing, focus is your friend, and variety is a villain. So before you start sending out messages via email, social media, or any other channel, start thinking through the answer to the first positioning question. What do you do? What do you have to offer? And be specific. Until next week, don't let the business of creativity overwhelm your creative business.
5 Minutes on Creative Entrepreneurship is a podcast by Eric Holter, mentor to creative entrepreneurs. You can find more content and resources at erichholter.com. His book, Blazing the Freelance Trail, is available on Amazon in print, Kindle, and audio. If this podcast is helpful to you, be sure to share it with your colleagues, and ratings and reviews are always appreciated.
I'm so glad trouble don't last